Good morning. This is the Eager Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters, CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Well, good morning and hello, kids, and welcome to season 3 and episode number. I have no idea, to be totally honest today.
I think it's
345.
Yeah, 345. Yeah,
Yeah, right. That one should have been easy to remember.
Should be 345, right?
5,
Yeah.
right? Of the Daily Beaver Morning Show here on the Crier Media Network. Yeah. I have a little pep in my step today, as you can tell, kids.
I see that.
I see that. Today, recording day is Monday, March 25th, 2024. I think it's going to be a lovely day here at the Beaver Lodge. We had a little bit of snow. We very fortunately missed the snowstorm. There was an Environment Canada warning, and we really got a little bit more than a sprinkling. So we avoided the worst of it. Although, again, we could use the water, so, win-lose. But I think that at least when I looked at the weather report before the weekend, it was supposed to go back to the sort of temperatures that we were having before, or something around today. So I expect it is going to be less wintry-like and more spring-like today. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's already warmed up here quite a bit, so we'll take it.
Yeah, and today, kids, when people are wondering why it is I'm so excited, well, first of all, it's first day of playoffs in curling for me, and it's also Tech Week for We Will Rock You, and we are 100% completely sold out.
Oh, nice.
In fact, they even asked us if we would be able to put another show in, but unfortunately, because, everybody made their plans 4 months ago based on what the run of the show was then, we said, nope, sorry, working that day, or so, and, it's not like we're just a cast of 2 or 3. We'd have to have something like 35 different people or something be free. So, cast and crew, actually. So we weren't able to make an extra date happen, but we did try. A big thank you goes to our podcasts.
Sorry.
Douglas used to run a tilt-a-whirl. Here we go. I'm waiting for, do you want to go faster?
That's from PNC Bio, one of the comments. For those of you listening at home, PNC Bio dropped a funny comment in there, and I had to put it up on the screen because it made me chuckle right away.
I was the kid that screamed because I wanted to go faster every time I went to the Super X.
What was it? What was it? That was it wasn't a tilt-a-whirl that they did at. It was like the bobsled run.
The bobsled and the discotheque.
Yes, yeah.
When,
Do you want to go faster? Do you want to go faster?
Yes. It's like, and every time we'd pass by the DJ booth, which was also the guy controlling it, I'd be like, faster.
Well, and the thing is, PNC Bio, being an Ottawa resident, of course knows Super X well, is old enough to remember Super X back when it was still a thing. And that was
very, very, very happy memories. Super X and the CJOH tent with Max Keeping and Carolyn Meehan always delivering the live news and this long string of concerts.
I built the CGOH tent one year with for work. We built the tent, and we had a thing set up. It was that was 1988 or 89, I think. It was a lot of fun. 89, I think. We built this special tent, and we had a display. NHK from Tokyo, which is Nippon, the Nippon Broadcasting Corporation, basically CBC in Japan, brought over a high definition television. So it was a tube, and it was a 16:9 widescreen Sony CRT. Cathode ray tube is what that means for those of you who don't know what CRT is. And it was high definition. And I remember we were standing there looking at it going like, I didn't know a television could look like that. And they were saying how someday we will have this in North America. And I never thought it would come true. But now we have 4K, which is even better than that. But that 1989, that was like resolutionary.
I like that. I love
good from Apple, actually.
I love good puns. Big thank you goes to our podcast founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss B Mysteries from Corbin Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. As you can all hear, with me is my good friend, Mr. Grizzly, looking very, very, very dash. Actually, that blue goes. Does it like open your eyes? Yeah. Eh?
Does it make him pop?
Yeah.
Pop. That's why I bought it.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool. How's your mental health today, sir?
You know what? When I wake up, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'm honest to goodness. I rolled out of bed at 6:30. I looked at the clock and went, "Oh, I have to get up and do the thing." And the dog was looking at me like, "Hey, Dad, like, what's up? You're supposed to take me out." So I'm like, "Just a second. I got to do this thing." I do the thing, and I'm like, "Take her outside." We get outside, and she's like, "Ooh, it's nice and warm." I'm like, "Yes, it is actually compared to yesterday when I took her. It was minus 18."
Yeah.
So it warmed up very quickly, and today it's gorgeous out there. And we got outside, did a little walk, and I'm like, "Okay, we have to go back in. I have a thing I have to do. I have to go. Daddy has to work." She's like, "But it's nice. But it's nice outside. I just want to hang out with you." So because I'm working from home today, I will take a coffee break at around 9:30, 10. I'll take her for a short walk, and then at lunch I'll take her for another walk, and then I'll take her for a long walk at the end of the day. Yesterday we took her out for 8.5 kilometers.
Oh, nice.
You think she'd be tired after that?
No.
Well, she came in, lied down, went to sleep for like 30 minutes, if that, and then was like, hey. I'm like, "Oh, really? 8.5 kilometers outside in the sunshine?" And it was cold, and she...
Just warming up, Daddy.
Best part of the day, the thing I've never, ever seen happen in my life before. We're at Bates Island, where the water treatment plant is. You know where that is on the river? Near Tiny's pasture?
Yes.
So we take her out there, and we're walking around, and I go, "Ooh, cobra chickens. You want a snack on those, don't you?" She chased them away. They didn't. I said, "Oh, you're going to learn a lesson with these cobra chickens. They're going to attack." Nope. She chased them away. She chased one away, and it was so frightened, it shit as it was flying away. I'm not kidding. We got it on video. I'm like, "Did that just happen?" And she goes, "It did." We chased them right down to the river. And she was pulling me down to the river. I was trying to keep up with her, pulled me down to the river, and she sat there, and she was barking her head off at the cobra chickens, and they were floating away. They're like, "Yeah, you can't get us here." And she's like, "Screw you, I'm going in," and went both feet into the river. And I'm like, "That water is liquid ice right now." No, both feet. She was barking her head off. She was ready to take it. And I look at Bridget and I go, "If I let her off the leash, she's going to get those things." She's like, "Yeah, she will, but she'll get so cold she won't be able to swim properly and probably drown." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not going to let her off the leash. It's March. That water is liquid ice right now. Normally, there's still a flow of it. There's no ice on the river at all, like none, zero."
Yeah.
You know how weird that is for people who've ever been to Ottawa or lived in Ottawa? No ice at the end of March is bizarre.
Very, very bizarre.
Like usually by end of April, there's big chunks of ice, and most of it's broken up. But there's zero ice, zero. It's strange. But anyway, Lola the Conqueror, yes. She chased down cobra chickens. She chased down 3 running one way and 4 running another, and pulled me down to the river edge so she could bark at them. And I'm like, I'm gonna let her bark at the cobra chickens. She can't bark at other dogs or people, but cobra chickens, no problem. Walking back home, she saw her first squirrel. I thought she went crazy for cobra chickens. No. No. She went out of her head for that squirrel, and I'm like, I'm not even going to try and stop her. I'm going to hold her back. But if she wants to bark at the squirrel, I'm going to let her bark at the squirrel. It's a squirrel. She can't bark at dogs or people. Squirrels and cobra chickens, go nuts. Well, and it was funny when we were walking there. Bridget's like, "Oh no, cobra chickens." I go, "Yeah, don't worry. She'll learn a lesson. You don't attack cobra chickens." Oh no, she didn't learn a lesson yesterday. She taught one. So, well, and my buddy said she probably the geese probably they haven't nested yet because they're home earlier than normal. I'm like, yes, you're right. And if they'd nested, they'd probably be defensive. I'm like, that's a good point. So let's see what happens this summer when I take her down the bike trail where they nest on the river, and that'll be an interesting walk.
Oh, jeez.
She's either going to teach a lesson or learn a
crossfire.
Lesson. Oh man, it's going to be interesting. I'm like, I should wear a raincoat that day just to keep the goose shit off me.
Oh man, jeez. Oh wow,
that's the first time I've ever seen that in my life, though. I've never seen Canada geese cower or run away from anything ever. I've seen them attack lions. I've seen them attack elephants. I've seen them attack large, like big prey cats at the Toronto Zoo. They're fearless. They ran away from Ms. Lola. So I don't know what to make of that.
Oh man. All right, kids. Somebody said something. Oh darn it! It caught my eye, and now it's gone. Oh yes. Sorry, it's not somebody said something. Exactly. Kids, Cubs, we have Pete with us from Australia in the chat. So nice to see you, my friend.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Pete did something. I think the walk was this weekend, but there was because I always ask you how your mental health is doing, and I think there was a 25-kilometer walk. I think they call it Walk for a Bloke or something.
Okay.
So it was a campaign to get men speaking
about
stuff that was going on. It's an organization, I believe, helps to do that. If I got that wrong, Pete, do let me know.
That's a cause I could certainly get behind. Because we don't talk about our feelings nearly enough, and it leads to bad things when we don't talk about it. So open up and talk about it. It's okay. Feel free to do so. You have feelings just like any other living, breathing human being, and you should have the safe space to come and discuss it. Speaking of safe spaces, I will do an ASMR tonight. I couldn't last week because I was not in good shape last week mentally. And sometimes when my mental health is in a bad shape, it's probably the best time to hold a thing like that. When I can come on and say, listen, I'm really messed. I'm not doing well. Here's the thing. But the problem was last week, I did not have the emotional energy to sit in front of the camera and talk. And I'm sure anybody listening to this or watching this can identify with that emotion when it hits you. You just don't have the emotional energy to do anything more than just veg on the couch or veg in bed or whatever. And that's all I had last Monday evening. I didn't have it, So hopefully I'll have something enough tonight to have a chat. Walk for a Bloke. Here it is. Raising funds for cheap/free mental health support for men. 7 out of 9 suicides in Australia are men. So they're trying to be there for guys and remove the stigma. That is honorable, noble, and I fully support that, Pete. Thank you.
Yep.
Well done, sir.
Thanks so much. Well done. Yep. And that's why he's my friend.
He's a good lad. He's a good bloke, eh? He's a good bloke.
Yep. Quality people.
I sounded British when I said that, not Aussie. I can't get my Aussie accent this morning. I'm not awake yet. Haven't had a coffee. Haven't taken medication. Haven't had a glass of water. I literally woke up, wrote the thing, took the dog out, came back here.
Yep. No, quality people. Quality people. Oh, there we go. It says, with thanks to my sponsors, I raised $597 Australian, which will go to subsidizing and providing free counseling for guys.
Outstanding, sir.
Boom.
Outstanding.
Boom. It was awesome, he says. Good.
Good stuff.
Good. You deserve awesome times.
You know what? We should do something like that here. We don't have anything like that here.
Not that I know of.
Well, I mean, it was Australian fellows who came up with the Movember movement, which was to raise, men's health, prostate health, which how many men die of prostate cancer, right? Because we just ignore it. And like you said, 7 out of 9 Australian men who have decided to leave this world did so by their own hand. And I think we should maybe could we do, and this is self-serving. It's very self-serving because I, battle with mental health, but I think we should try and organize something like that, an Eager Beaver mental health walk. What do you think about that, sir?
That would be a great idea. I'm sure that we would probably have...
a few people might be interested in joining in.
Yeah, a few people. Are you talking just a general mental health walk or the walk for blokes similar?
The walk for blokes similar. Yeah, let's do maybe not 25K because some of us are old, but let's do maybe like a 10K. Start small and build from there. A 10K walk for mental health walk for fellas. I don't know, because bloke's not really a big thing here, but for the lads, the boys, the guys, I don't know.
Yeah,
a men's mental health walk.
Yep. Well, yeah, we could think of something. We might actually be able to get help from maybe Senator Patrick Bazo, because I know that's a cause that's a big.
Yeah.
So you
Let's
never
reach
know.
out to him. Let's reach out to him. I think he might be willing to, maybe do something along those. And yes, we would do it in warmer weather. I'm thinking like May sometime. I mean, this is just literally because of what Pete did this weekend.
James says he'd be down.
Okay. Well, because what Pete did this weekend, I'm thinking we should do something. Thank you, Pete, for inspiring us to do something to try and help. I mean, we're just a little space on the web where we talk about politics, and we do talk about mental health, and sometimes I wax on poetically about it like I am this morning, and I apologize because Mr. Beaver has a hard exit at 8 a.m. this morning because he has a curling tournament. You're in the playoffs, right?
Yep. Our senior men's playoffs.
There you go. So I'm going on, I guess, a lot, but sometimes I need to talk about stuff, and right now I do, and I'm trying to hold back some of my emotions. But let's reach out to Senator Patrick Brazo, the Honorable Senator Patrick Brazo, and see if he would be amenable to lending some support. And we're not looking for finance. This would be a walk for awareness this year because we're doing it at the last second. So trying to put together a charity fundraising thing it's a lot. It's a lot, but I think there would be enough people who would be interested in that we could, let's raise awareness this year, and next year maybe we can try and raise some money. What do you think?
Well, I mean, we could discuss that. There are probably people who know better than us how to arrange that, so maybe we can do both this year. But yeah, we'll look into that.
Thank you, Pete. You inspired me. And James, you can walk to my house. I'll cook some penne. That's a long walk. Long walk, bro. That's more than 10K.
Hey, he didn't say where we had to start from.
Well,
let's park the car. We'll walk to the house. All right, kids and cubs.
Here's a good one from Miss Shadika, Mental Health Awareness in Motion, MHAM. I like that.
Okay.
I think we can do something
we
with
should
that.
Note that down somewhere.
We should. I think that's a good idea. Thank you. Oh, that was Cassie. That was Cassie who came up with that. Thank you, Cassie. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. See, sometimes, you never know how the show's going to go because we sort of have loose things we plan to discuss on this show, but it really is off the cuff, live, and in person. And this morning, because our friend Pete, who we've not seen in a while because he lives in Australia, hopped in the chat, told us about what he did this weekend, and I'm like, I'm inspired by that. Let's try and do something. And now we've got this thing, this small little thing on this little corner of the web where we've got some really incredible human beings who want to do something to help make a difference. So thank you, Pete, and thank you, every kitten cub watching and listening. You really have moved me this morning.
Pete just said, I'll fly up there to walk if you guys get it going.
Damn.
Like I needed motivation.
Damn. He's going to fly from Australia to lend a hand. Well, folks, I mean, if that's not...
Okay, now it is definitely self-serving because I get to see my friend Pete.
Yeah.
Who I love.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very much.
Okay,
let's twist my rubber arm.
Let's get rolling here before I turn into a blubbering mess.
Oh. All right. Well, hey, you know what? That's a good one from Kid James as well. Mental health walk.
Oh, yes. That's a good idea.
Okay. We're
Mental
brainstorming live, it seems. I'm going
That's a really
to write
good idea.
that down as well. All
Thank
right.
you, Pete. You inspired me, and that has in turn helped us inspire the kits and cubs here. And let's do something. Let's make a difference. Let's try and make a difference. You know.
Oh, Cassie even goes, James, that's a winner. We should get Linz to smoke a feast at the finish line. Smoke everything.
Let's see if we can do. Why don't we do something in May?
No, not May.
No,
not May.
May's out of the question.
Not May. Alex's birthday, my birthday. I'm also in a play, and nope, not May.
If we're gonna, we could maybe do it early June before it gets too hot, right? Also, the other thing about May is it's the Ottawa Marathon takes place in May, and it's usually stinking hot that weekend. Race weekend is usually stinking hot, and actually, Bridget's heavily involved with race weekend, so that means I'm involved with race weekend, which I'm cool with because I get some cool people that I get to meet and hang out with, and I get to go to VIP parties, which is, kind of cool for this roughneck, if you will.
All right. Well, since we're in happy mode, let's stay in happy mode because I didn't get to see them because I got home from rehearsal at 9:00 last night after leaving at 10:20 in the morning to go.
Well, they started it. Oh my God.
Yes. Yesterday was rehearsal, and then we had to take everything down where we were, load it up in trailers and whatnot, bring it into the theater where we're performing because yesterday was move-in day, and build it. It was a long day. And I am feeling it. But you got to watch the Junos.
They were
last night. Now I hear Nelly Furtado opened with a medley of hits, and that the first presenter was none other than the one, the only, the legendary. I was raised on her music.
Elvis Presley's favorite singer.
Yes, Elvis Presley's favorite singer, Anne Murray.
And she looked great. Not only that, when she walked out, of course, brought the house down because Halifax was in Halifax. Right. And Anne Murray in Halifax. Now I'll make a comment on the Juno Awards in a second here that it's not super nice, but it's I saw somebody wrote out yesterday and said, sing this to the tune of Eleanor Rigby. Ellen of Digby was moved out of the encampment to clear room for the Junos. Where have all the homeless people gone? I'm like, oh man, that was a gut punch because it was real. It was real. And that when I read that yesterday, it was like, oh, this is we're making room for something that I love to celebrate, the Juno Awards. It's the only award show I actually give a damn about. It's the only one I care to watch because it's Canadian music and celebrating Canadian artists. Admittedly, the Canadian Screen Awards have gotten better over the last few years too, but celebrating Canadian music is just like the be all end all for me. And when I saw that post yesterday, it was like, oh, we cleared out a homeless encampment so it would look better for the Juno Awards on television. Oh, what have we done? What have we done? Ellen of Digby, where have all the homeless people gone?
Yep.
I
did not know that.
Yeah. They had cleared out the encampment a week before. And when somebody wrote that, yeah, exactly, Christian, late stage capitalism. When somebody wrote that, and welcome to the Damn Fam, Carol. Carol's in the YouTube chat this morning.
Oh, hello.
Said she would join us Monday. Thanks for joining. Yeah, that was a gut punch. I'm going to see if I can find the thing I saw that and put it on the screen. It affected me in a way I didn't know it would. It was like, oh, God damn it, what have we done? Yeah.
I don't know how to segue.
I'm sorry.
From that one.
I know.
I was just about to say, celebrate our artists.
and celebrate our artists for sure. And I meant to hang on to that till later, but it just, yeah. It was tough to see, you know. And when somebody wrote that, and I don't know who wrote it, it was kind of like, damn, that's as real as it gets, you know. And now, celebrate Canadian artists. I don't think, can we come back from that? I don't know.
I don't think we can. There's no elegant way back.
No, there isn't. I'm sorry. I meant to hang on to that till later, but
I can't do that without doing my best.
I know.
Imitation of that Republican lady from Alabama. In the homeless encampments. And now we celebrate our artists. Artists that make such wonderful music and represent the country so wonderfully.
Yeah.
And Justin Trudeau, if you do not keep funding them, we're never going to forget it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, that might be my best way to actually do that. So yes.
So let me show you
Anne-Marie
something here.
presented the first award, which was Group of the Year, that went to the band The Beaches.
And they were great. They won our Group of the Year too.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And I did not know their song "Blame Brett," so I checked it out actually this morning. And you know who they make me think of?
Who?
If the Go-Go's had started now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lead singer with a very distinctive voice. 4 women playing rock, loving it. You know, Blame Brett. Could, you know, our lips are sealed. There's a little cheekiness, you know, to the song, but you know, brought to like 40 something years later. But yeah, I got Go-Go's vibes. So really, really, really do like them. I'll be looking out for more. Tate McRae, who I have mentioned before on the show, one single of the year for Greedy, which is the video I asked everybody to check out because hockey is a little sexy in this one. And I believe that she also won Artist of the Year. And what was really interesting was the fan choice nominees of the year, because there were 9 nominees and 2 of them are artists from Canada who make I actually don't know the name for the music, but they don't perform principally in English, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's one,
or maybe they do.
There's one guy who's
Indian or Punjabi music, or
he sings in Hindi.
In Hindu, yeah, in Hindi.
And he's had 2.5 billion streams. And Canadian guy, born and raised in Canada, sings in Hindi, and is a huge star. And he brought the house down with that performance too. Like he really did. It was an awesome performance. And I was kind of like, I don't know who he is, but I'm vibing to it.
The person who won, and I don't know their music at all, so I apologize if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, is Karan Aujla.
I think that's the proper pronunciation, actually.
Right. Yeah, Punjabi music. That's I wanted to get the term right because I knew it was in Bhangra, but yeah, Punjabi music. So and that was a first time in Canadian history that artists from Punjabi culture were singled out for the Fan Choice Award. Now in Canada, of course, there's
A few
I
different
think
awards.
we are the largest diaspora of, I believe, of
You might be
Indian,
right about that.
Indian
We are the
people
largest
outside India.
Ukrainian diaspora.
Yeah.
I know that, and you might be right about that too. I'm not sure.
Oh no, sorry, no, Sikh,
Sikh,
not Indian. Sikh.
Sikh.
No, Sikh.
Is it Sikh or Sikh?
It's Sikh. We talked about it before.
I can't remember now. I'm old.
Yeah.
I want to get it right. I want to get.
Oh no, wait a minute. Is it Sikh?
It's Sikh. Yeah, Sikh.
No, I think. Okay, now you're making me doubt myself because I think we used to say Sikh, and then people got us to say Sikh because we were told that we were taught to say Sikh.
Yes,
because sick sounded like sick.
Yeah, exactly.
That it actually was sick all along. But then
Yes.
when this story about Hardeep Singh Nijjar came out, and I was hearing interviews with Sikh people, they were saying Sikh.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. So now I don't know anymore.
Look, we just want to get it right. That's all. Please, if somebody can correct
if
us.
somebody actually knows, please, because I do want to get it right because I had been saying sick all my life until I heard people say. Anyway.
Oh my God! Oh, here she comes. Come on up, sweetheart. Come on up. Look at this little beast here. Look at this little girl. Oh, look at this little girl wants to lick my face. No licking of the face. I told you that.
Aww.
It's pronounced sick, apparently. It is sick, but with an emphasis on the H at the end. So sick.
See.
That's what everybody's saying in the chat there. So.
Okay, yeah, and I just went to Google how to pronounce it. It says sounds like Sikh.
Yeah, I know. I'm confused.
That's what I mean. I just don't know.
Well, I have a buddy in Delhi who just texted me a few minutes ago. Hang on, sent me a message because it's Holly. Now
okay.
I probably
yes.
that incorrectly. He's like, what do you say? Happy Holi, dear Paul, sir. May all the 7 colors of the rainbow come together this Holi and bless your life with happiness and joy. Holly. HOL. See that?
I like that. All 7 colors of the rainbow.
And of course, the green shows right through.
Yes.
Okay, Lola. No kissing. No kissing. She was chewing on my no. So a few years back, when the world was crazy in the city of Ottawa. Okay, Lola. This lady made this doll for me. It's a voodoo doll. And it's the Blue Jacket Guy voodoo doll. And she's got a quote here. I can't really hold it with the doggy here, but anyway, I can read it to you. And it's words that I spoke, and I don't even remember it exactly. But what freedom have you lost? Tell me a freedom you've lost. I've lost my mind because I haven't slept in 5 effing days. It's enough to drive an effing person crazy. It has to effing stop. You effing idiot. The mandates are provincial, not federal. If you're mad about wearing a mask, get your effing vaccine. Go talk to Doug Ford. The effing prime minister has nothing to do with this. Do you know anything about civics? F you. I did drop a lot of F-bombs, didn't I? I do want to listen, but I've lost my effing patience because this is too much. So, yeah. So this lady made these Blue Jacket Guy voodoo dolls and sold them, and all the money went to charity, and she gave me one. She was kind enough to do that. I never showed that to anybody before, but anyway, yeah.
Oh.
Little thing. Little Ottawa love coming to you. This lady whose name we met. She came to me. She came and met me at the pump on a Friday, and I was on the patio, and I came out to greet her, and she gave me a big hug and said, "Thank you for everything you did." I'm like, "Thank you." I don't know. Anyway. So I've had this for a couple of years, and this morning, Ms. Lola decided that she wanted to have a taste of it. So Bridget grabbed it off the coffee table and brought it over to me. She was like, she was trying to chew it. That's daddy. You don't chew daddy. Don't chew daddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Sorry, I got thrown.
yeah, I'm sorry. My apologies. It's a good comment from PNC Bio. Ask someone with a turban. They've told me sick, but Sikh is very common in English countries to avoid being called sick. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Because the word in English, thick, and if you don't pronounce it correctly, it sounds off. So, yeah, I can understand why, and I think we talked about that too, didn't we? How it's like, I think in Canada we said Sikh so that it wouldn't sound,
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, she's staring at her bowl of kibble here. Sorry. I got a dog at my lap here. Sorry, sorry, folks. I've thrown the show right off the rails here. I do have a picture for you that you might like. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. This is Anne Murray. To her right is John Lennon. On her left, on her shoulder, is Harry Nilsson, followed by Alice Cooper and Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That
was at the Troubadour in LA in 1971, I think, when she won Song of the Year and Country Album of the Year, I think it was. Was it? So first Canadian female solo singer to reach #1 in the U.S. charts, the first to earn a gold record for Snowbird, and was the first woman to win Album of the Year at the Country Music Awards in Nashville for A Little Good News. So yeah, the legendary Anne Murray.
Yep, absolutely. Just, and she had a second career for a while with her crooner albums as well. So it showed that she could do more than just country.
Yeah, and she retired. She did a farewell retirement tour because she was like, I'm just tired of this. And she had lost her husband. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it suicide or cancer?
I will check.
I know he's gone, and I'm just trying to remember exactly what happened. But she is a living legend, and of course, the Halifax hosting the Junos. Could you think of a better person to come out and represent? Like, my goodness. But the commentary on Twitter from people going, I see Anne Murray on Twitter trending, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't see the Junos. It's like, oh, thank God, because everybody thought the worst. When you see the name of a famous actor or singer or musician trending on Twitter, the first thing you think is, oh no. And in this case, it was just because she was, hosting the Junos World, but the first person to appear at the Junos last night and present an award. She has a Twitter if anybody is interested in following her, by the way. It's just literally at Anne Murray 1. That's her Twitter. Anne Murray 1. Really? Did she need the 1? Maybe there's another Anne Murray out there, I guess. It's not a super uncommon name. It's just kind of a legendary one in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So we had the Juno Awards yesterday, and also Charlotte Cardin won for the Pop Album of the Year for her album 99 Nights, Rock Album of the Year, as you mentioned. No, you said...
no, The Beaches won Album of the Year.
Album of the Year, yes. Blame My Ex from The Beaches. And let's see, who else do we have?
Well, Charlotte Cardin, like I'd seen her perform a couple of years ago at Pride, and she was singing. She was a francophone artist at the time. I mean, she speaks both languages. She's from Montreal.
Yeah.
She speaks both languages beautifully. But she was singing solely in French at the time, and now she's performing in English. And I'm like, oh, just going after a bigger audience, I guess.
Yeah, and Les Cowboys Fringants for fans of French music won the Francophone Album of the Year for their concert album, along with the Orchestre Symphonique de Montréal. So they did one of those albums, and it was very, very popular, a huge hit in Quebec. Maestro Fresh West got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Bloody time.
And rocked the house down because Kit James keeps on telling us that sometimes he goes sees a concert, especially when it's a rap concert, I guess, and you hear the hype man more than you do the rapper.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons that he liked Classified's most recent tour.
We
They
were on
went
that.
to small venues. Yeah.
We went to see Classified at that. It was at Neat Cafe.
Yeah.
In I can't remember the name of the town. It's a small town towards Arnprior. And it was an amazing show. We got to hang out with Classified, and we did an interview. Did a great interview. I had cameras set up. I had lights set up. I did all the thing. Got the video all recorded. No audio. Couldn't hear a thing. I don't know what happened to the audio files. So we were never able, unfortunately, to present the show. And it was a shame. Oh, thank you, darling. A cup of coffee. Look at this. My lady brings me a coffee first thing in the morning. It was a shame we didn't get to, none of the audio was recorded because it was a great interview. And you're right. You're right about this, James. Live hip hop is often awful to listen to. Wes did great. And when we saw Classified, he rocked the house because it was an acoustic show. And I'm like, an acoustic hip hop show? How can that work? It worked. He was doing small venues, and Neat Cafe is, have you ever been there, Mr. Beaver?
Meat Cafe?
Neat, N-E-A-T.
I don't think so, no.
Okay, it's a small venue, but it's not super small. They could fit a few hundred people in there, and they got a great PA system, a proper soundboard. Like the owner really built it so you could have a big artist come and play and put on an amazing show, and it sounded amazing. And we watched it, and interviewed him, and it was a great night. It really was a good night. That was just about a year ago. It was right around this time last year.
Yep.
And unfortunately, like I said, we shot a whole video, and there's the sound. I don't know what happened to the audio. I had the mic levels. I could see the levels and the recording meters. Nothing.
So when you're asking how we did, James, he really did great, and no hype man. None.
Yeah. He just came out and did his thing.
He had 6 people singing background.
Yep.
And where needed and adding some voices, but absolutely no hype man. It was just him spitting.
And he kicked butt. And I was telling him
with a lot of production.
Well, a lot of production, but of course.
I mean, well, hey, the trombone, the sax,
Yeah.
When you're
Full
putting
band.
it all together, full band. Oh yeah, no. This guy, he held it down.
Well, and he lives in St. John, New Brunswick now. He moved.
Yes,
to
he
St. John.
does. Yes, well, we showed that clip on the show of him passing through, I think, the hardware store when Susan Holt was talking to someone that was just brought in as a candidate when he announced that he had got a nomination for Juno.
Well, and did you know that he's hosting a show coming up on CBC soon? It's about sandcastles. It's like an international sandcastle building competition, but they do it in the Bay of Fundy in New Brunswick.
Okay.
So it's like you got to get it built before the tide comes in, because when that tide comes in, it is gone forever because it's the highest tides in the world, right? So yeah, it's coming up on CBC, and it looks really cool, and he's hosting it. I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Cool.
Every time I hear somebody say defund the CBC, I'm like, you have a problem with diversity and representation, because they gave a lot of that last night if you watched the show.
Yeah. So he was nominated in all categories. Children's Album of the Year for Maestro Fresh West presents Young Maestro Stick to Your Vision for Young Athletes.
I did not know that.
But he did not win.
I didn't even know
the
that.
Swinging Bells. Welcome to the Flea Circus.
Nice.
And that is probably the most visibility Children's Album of the Year has probably ever gotten.
Seriously.
On a video show.
Yeah, no kidding.
Setting firsts is what we do here. And I think I've managed to convince our choir to submit the album that we just did.
Oh yeah.
Next year, because when they did an album last time, I said you needed to submit it, and they said, "Nah, there's no point." And I said, "You really need to submit it." Yeah. If not, even if you don't get nominated, it just lets other people know you exist.
Exactly.
Right? You want to sell these puppies, so hopefully that they will do it this year. And let's see, what else did we have? Dance Recording of the Year went to Felix Cartel for Need Your Love, which means that Nelly Furtado, who was hosting, did not win for Eat Your Man.
I don't know.
That's an interesting title.
We were watching the show last night, and Nelly jumped on because the Juno Awards, a lot of the awards are handed out prior to the actual
Yes.
show, right? They only present like I think 4, maybe 5 awards on the show, and the rest of it is performance and Hall of Fame induction, that sort of thing. And it was really cool when Wes got his award. He said, in 1991, I was the first Canadian to ever get a rap award, Juno. He says
And it was the first ever one.
That first ever one. He says, and that same year, Leonard Cohen was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And tonight I get whoa. I'm like, there's a whole meta thing there, right?
Well, there's an appreciation for music history and Canadian music history there.
Come on, who doesn't?
No, but again, all those things, right? Like rappers don't care about X music or X music or X music. Not true.
Bullshit.
Not true. Music is music is music.
Exactly.
Good music is good music, regardless of genre. And game respects game.
Well, and they had a thing last night where you had all these artists that got up and did a tribute to Gordon Lightfoot and Robbie Robertson, and they sang "The Weight." They did "The Weight." They did. I want to say "If You Can Read My Mind," but I'm blanking right now. But they did that. It's because "The Weight" was the one that was most memorable to me. They did "The Weight," and it was a diverse group of artists, and they were singing and playing their hearts out. Singing and playing their hearts out. I mean, come on, The Weight, Robbie, the band, like legendary song, legendary.
Yep. And for those wondering, of course, contemporary Indigenous artist or group of the year went to Elisapi for her. I'm not sure if it's for an album or a single, but I'm going to guess it's an album, Inuktitut. And Elisapi is. You won't be wasting your money buying an album from Elisapi at all. At all. She's amazing.
She performed last night, and she did. I'm like, I know this song, but I was blanking on the title. And Bridget is a huge fan of hers. Sorry about that. Huge fan of hers, and says, "Oh, it's Heart of Glass." I'm like, yes, she has an Inuk language version of Elisapi. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, an Inuk version of Heart of Glass.
Oh, neat.
Oh, and it's really cool, but it's done like in a ballad, so it's not a disco. You don't want to dance to it. You just want to sway to it when you hear it. And it's like, I don't understand the things she's saying, but I don't need to. Good music is good music, period. Because I've been in other parts of the world where I'm hearing somebody perform in a language I don't understand, but the tune's good, right?
Yeah, exactly. And finally, Alison Russell, of whom I've become a fan, won Music Video of the Year for Demons, her collaboration with Ethan Topman. So wanted to bring those out. And of course, there were plenty of awards won. So there were a lot more artists than just them who were nominated and who won. So I will include the link here in the chat for anybody who would like to go check for themselves.
Yeah,
since we're talking about happy news, let's keep it a happy show. Canada won a second medal at the World Figure Skating Championships. Our ice dance pair of Paul Poirier and Piper Gillies took home the silver medal in ice dance, which I believe is the highest that they've ever placed at a World Championships. I think they had a bronze once before. So congratulations to them. It's been an interesting season, I think, because Piper Gillis is recovering from a cancer diagnosis and some treatment that she had, if I'm not mistaken. So this was maybe a season where they maybe would not have expected as much, and maybe have ended up being their best season ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't hurt at all. And yes, another weekend, another world champion, Kits and Cubs.
We were in the pub the other night, and we were watching a little bit of it. Again, I'm not a big curling person, but I always cheer for Team Canada. I know we kick ass at this, but the rest of the world is caught up to how good Canada is, right? It's not a lock that Canada's going to win anymore. It's not.
Canada had not won since 2018.
There you go.
The world championship
you
medals, but not one. So I mean, other countries have arrived. It is now a global sport. But Team Canada finally brought home the gold medal from the World Curling Championships. Team Homan defeated Team Switzerland, which is skipped by Silvana Tirinzoni, but she throws most curling teams, the skip throws the last stones, but she doesn't. Silvana Tirinzoni throws third stones on her team and has Alina Petz throwing final stones. And for a while, I believe after the first 4 or 5 ends, she was curling 100%.
Wow.
Switzerland was the 4-time world defending champion. It's the nation that has won 8 championships since 2018, so they've really displaced us, actually.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
it used to be a given. Canada, people, other countries didn't even bother to watch because they knew, it's kind of like U.S. in basketball in the Olympics. The dream team. It's not a given anymore. It's not.
Yeah. So, and Team Switzerland had come into this Bonspiel on a winning streak, and when Team Homan beat them in the round robin, that winning streak was at 42 matches.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Team Canada was on a winning streak of its own of about 27 matches because when we last talked, Canada was still undefeated in the round robin, but they lost their very last match in the round robin to the team from South Korea, who did very well because they took home the bronze. So Canada had to play them again in the playoffs in the semifinal in order to get to the final, and there they did win. The final was a very, very tight game where Switzerland actually did have the upper hand in the first half, even though it ended first half ended 4-4. But Switzerland was able to score 2 every time it had the hammer, and that was not the case. But Canada had the hammer 3 times, so they scored a 1-1 and a 2, which is how they got to 4-4. And then there were some 2 blank ends that came, and the turning point of the match was in the 8th end. Yes, I think so. It was the 8th end when Canada forced Switzerland to take 1, and then in the 9th end, they were down 1, and on the last shot, Rachel Homan, they had 1 shot that was just outside of the rings, and she did the shot where she hit it into the rings, and with the rock that she shot, rolled into the rings with it as well. That's called a split for 3 to have a 2-point lead going into the last end, which of course they were able to maintain, and they became world champions. And world champions on a actually stunning play, because it was Alina Petz, who had been curling 100% earlier in the match and had been curling extremely well all tournament long, that threw a rock to try and force Team Canada to at least throw their last one, and she was light.
Oh, wow.
Surprisingly. So that's, you usually can't count on that when she's throwing. So yeah, I mean, you have to play your opponent, and you have to fear no one but respect everyone. And Switzerland is definitely a team that needs to be respected.
Well, from Linda here, it was an impossible shot, and it was breathtaking.
Yeah. So it's the 2nd world championship win for Rachel Homan in 5 world championship appearances.
She's a beast.
Yes.
She's a beast.
I like I mentioned when we talked about her, I hadn't seen her this almost like Terminator focused than the year when she won the world championship in 2017. So this is just it's good news for Canada going into the Olympic cycle. Let's put it that way. So she is that's her 2nd win, and it's the first win for Team Canada since 2018 when Jennifer Jones, who retired from the 4-person game this year, took the title. So that's it for the women. Team Homan's record for the season is 61 wins and 6 losses.
61 wins, 6 losses.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a season anybody would kill for.
Yeah.
People would sell their soul for a season like that. I mean, realistically, right?
Yep. Yep. So they're the number one team in the world and world champions. So the next big event will be the Men's World Curling Championships, which will be played in Schaffhausen, Switzerland. And Brad Gushue will be there representing Team Canada with his team. And he'll try to win the first world title for Canada since 2017. So for the men, too, it's the same thing. And his second. And there we go.
Don't be fooled by the lobbyists of God. I'm still Jenny from the Laws. Sorry.
So congratulations. Yes. Sarah Wilkes, Emma Miskew, Tracy Fleury, and Rachel Homan, who are the foursome who got through that gauntlet.
Kicking ass and taking names. Way to go, ladies.
Exactly.
Way to go.
Yes, exactly. And for those who are watching the NCAA March Madness tournament, there are no fewer than 43 Canadians
It's a lot.
playing in the tournaments, men and women combined.
Well, and so we were watching a match yesterday, and Duke was playing. I don't know what team they were playing. I know Duke. You know, I'm not a big NCAA guy. I like NCAA football. I'm not a big NCAA basketball guy. But we were watching, and Bridget is a basketball freak, so she just wants to watch, right? So we were watching the game, and the announcement came over. The PA said, this is the first time Duke has ever made it to the round of 16. I'm like, what? Yeah, you know the school, you know Duke, right? And you're not a
Duke
big
win.
They've they've never made it to the round of 16 before. I was shocked. I'm like, really?
I was shocked.
Because we all look, Duke is a famous school. It's well known.
Yes.
I know it. I've known their basketball program. They've had it for decades. It's a good program. They've never made it to the round of 16 before. It's like, holy crap. Like that's I was shocked. Like, but the things you learn watching these tournaments, and we're watching the match yesterday. I'm like, this is clearly college ball. It is not NBA caliber. You'll see some NBA style plays every now and then, and some risky stuff, but you can tell they're still college. You know, they're not professionals. Whereas when I watch NCAA football, I find you'll see some amateur type moves, but you'll see the big hits and you'll see all the stuff, and you'll see quarterbacks who are like, that person is ready to play in the NFL right now. I didn't see any of that in any of the matches, and I've watched a few matches, and I didn't see any of that thus far. Duke and Kentucky back in the day, they played against each other a lot, but Duke has never made it to the round of 16 before. I was shocked to learn that. I'm like, what? Really? Wow. You know, the things you learn by paying attention.
There you go. All right, Mr. Grizzly, do we have a show?
We do. I just want to share one clip, one photo and a comment. And I think it's an interesting comment. Draw your own conclusion. I'll put this on the screen real quick. And it's from somebody who says, as broken as Canada may or may not be. Okay, leave that up to your own interpretation. We still retain our essential character. Nelly Furtado wore this to the Junos, and all anyone can talk about is how great 78-year-old Anne Murray looked. So I'm going to, for those of you listening at home, see if you can find the photo of Nelly Furtado in the outfit she wore at the start of the Junos last night, because it's this silver J-Lo style, very intricate piece of clothing that they put together for her. But I love how it's like all anyone can talk about is how great Anne Murray looked. 78-year-old Anne Murray, right?
Yep.
It's like,
there you have it. There you have it. We should, if you could find a picture, so we can see how great Anne Murray actually looked.
Oh, yeah.
We should
I'll
give
something.
equal time here. Kids and Cubs, that's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver Morning Show. We hope that you love listening to us because we love making this for you. Remember that sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. So please tell your peeps and poops all about us. If you would like to help us, you can subscribe to us via our pod page, sponsored by the Ray Girl. Podpage.com/The True North Eager Beaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words. And when you subscribe, when we have something fresh off the bandwidth, will come directly to you. If you would like to help us in other ways, please make like Kit Elaine and go to the True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube page and smash with our buttons like, share, and subscribe. Help us get to 700. We appreciate that very much. And if you would like to help us out in other ways, please go to our coffee page. That's coffee, ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, lowercase letters, all in one word. And if you make a contribution to the Emergency Hydration Fund, that would be very much appreciated. And I don't know if you're still looking for the Anne Murray stuff, Mr. Grizzly, or
Yeah. I've got an Anne Murray thing. Let me just get the stuff
Okay.
up here. Whoops, not that one. That one. And no, that one. Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
So there are the QR codes, kits and cups, for down under my chin for the pod page and by Mr. Grizzly's head if you would like to donate to us to help us produce more of this content for you. Because democracy is something that you do, please write your MPs, please write your senators, your MLAs, the members of the media to ask for better. Given that we're talking about the Junos today and we're talking about sports, why not ask them to improve their funding to Canadian artists and to our athletes? It's normally not a top of mind consideration when we're voting, but they are our ambassadors and they make us proud. And for the very little investment that we put in, they return a lot.
They do indeed.
And there's more to a country than just running a surplus. So
that was good. That was good. That was good.
Just saying.
That was good.
So,
I like that one.
Yeah. So yeah, let's do that. What else? Kits and Cups. I think that's it. So from the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying it could be a tough world out there, so please be kind and gentle to yourself. Mr. Grizzly, some words of wisdom, please.
Well, let's see what we can do, folks. As we started off the top of the show, it was purely by happenstance that our good friend Pete joined in the chat and talked about how he walked 25 kilometers yesterday to raise money for men's mental health. And we kicked off the idea at the beginning of the show, let's do something. Let's do something. But let's use our little corner of the web to try and raise awareness. And let's try and have this year, let's have a walk. We're not trying to raise funds this year. We're just trying to create awareness.
We'll
have a little walk.
Decided that yet?
Well,
we might be able to.
If we can raise funds, we will.
Yes.
All I'm saying is to put it together in 2 months' time it's a lot. But if we can raise some money, that's great. But moreover, if we can just get a few folks together, we'll do a walk, 10K, maybe 5K. I don't know. Here's an idea. We'll do a 5K walk around Centertown. We'll recreate the same parade route for Pride, and we'll end at the Lieutenant's Pump on the patio, and we'll have some drinks. I think that could work. I think people would be amenable to that. And the idea is to raise money for men's mental health. Now, here's the say: we'd have to walk on the sidewalks to get a parade route together, get the police involved, get all of the that's a lot in 2 months' time. It's almost impossible, but not quite. But let's see if we can do something. Let's see if we can raise some awareness and some funds and try and help the members of society that are often ignored. And I'm not saying just people who look like me. I'm not saying that. You understand that the homeless population also gets completely ignored if you're male. Completely ignored, completely marginalized and shuffled off to the side. And it's usually those people who need mental health support more than somebody like me. And it's important that we take care of each other. So if we can do something this year, let's do it.
All right. Mr. Grizzly, roll the credits, please.
Done.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors. The Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, their uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community. And The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. We are grateful to the Crier Media Network for its support, Pete Jarvis for our artwork, and Paul Joseph Something for our opening and closing sequence music.
There she is.
There we go. Yep, looking great.
Looking great. Anne Murray, the legend.
Yep. And just wanted to give a shout out to Tegan and Sarah,
Yes.
who during the ceremony spoke in favor of transgender rights, to raucous applause. If you want to know where the
Yes.
vote is going,
That
listen
should
to
be
the
an
audience
invitation.
at the Junos. Yeah. They mentioned, we are dedicated to confronting any form of discrimination that threatens the well-being of our community. Threats like the Alberta government's attempt to prevent trans youth from accessing vital care. These attacks are harmful because they are directed at the kids who need our support the most.
And remember,
I'd agree more.
Tegan and Sarah, twin sisters, are from where? Calgary.
Yep.
Two Berta girls, kicking ass, taking names. Two Berta women, sorry. Two Alberta women. They're not girls, they're women. Twin sisters who are kicking ass and taking names. And let's see if we can get them on the show.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, it would be great. All right, sir, I know you got to run, so you take
Okay.
care. And folks, I'll see you.
Wish me luck, everyone.